For From Caracas, I'm Cody Weddle. Today we're joined by Juan Sebastian Barragan. He's from the Rural Press Agency in Colombia. He's a journalist there. Their mission there is to bring a voice to the Campesino movement in Colombia. And he's here for a few days in Caracas, and he took some time to join us today. Juan Sebastian, thanks for joining us.
No, thanks you, Cody. I want to thank also Telesur and the people here in Caracas. We're here I'm participating in a training workshop of audiovisual journalism with Telesur and Alba. We're here for a week, and we're here with about 13 countries, people from Guatemala, Honduras, Argentina, Brazil, Cuba. We're 21 journalists here in Caracas, in Venezuela, the land of Chavez.
Mm-hmm. And what exactly are you guys doing here at Telesur in Caracas?
We're gonna have talking with journalists from Telesur, also social movements that are working with the people here in Venezuela. And the main thing is that we're gonna receive a training workshop with the journalists of Telesur and the people of Alba movements.
Okay, let's talk about what you do back home in Colombia. We work with Agencia Prensa Rural, Rural Press Agency there. Tell me about your mission. What do you guys aim to do through that organization?
Okay, Cody. There we work especially with the Campesino movement. When we went out, we came with the information, or the videos, the message of the Campesino movement, especially of the region of the Magdalena Medium, that is in the middle of Colombia, where there is as you tell, campesinos, workers, because it's the Magdalena Medio, Medium Magdalena. It's a place where there's a lot of oil companies, lands. So there, the campesinos, the workers, have been struggling for rights, yes, and they need someone who can bring out their voices, their struggles, their fights against landowners, against mining multinationals that are taking their lands. So what we've been doing during about 11 years now is to bring their voices out, and that the people in the world, not only in Colombia, can know about that. In Colombia there are campesinos and mostly people that are not threatened because of the state, because of the government, and about also the big companies there.
And how do you do that? What are your strategies to give a voice to those movements that have been underrepresented historically?
We have a web page that is prensarural.org, and we have also we have a fan page in Facebook. We have a Twitter. Also, we have a newspaper that comes out every 3 months. We also we have a video equipment, so we put our videos in YouTube. If you want to search for them, it's in Prensa Rural. You can search Prensa Rural. And we have, years ago we had an space in radio, but because of the military, it was closed. Because of the pressure of the military, they made that the company that owns that radio closed our program. Yes.
Okay, so tell me more about that. Why did the military make you close down the station?
Okay, it means that I have to take to stop also in this region I was telling you, medium Magdalena, because it's a region in which the conflict is, well, now it has been like, I think, few years that the conflict well, bajó.
It's so decreased.
Yes, decreased. Yes. But the Medium Magdalena, it's a region in which the conflict has brought many victims. Yes, a lot of displacement, a lot of murders. Well, I'm talking about campesinos, workers, women, organized, no? So, in that region, the campesinos in the year, I think, well, in the 90s, the campesinos organized around an association. This association, the name is, in Spanish, is ACBC, ACBC, because it's Asociación Campesina del Valle del Río Cimitarra. It's Peasants Association of the Cimitarras River Valley. So this association brings out also their voices, brings out their struggles, accompanies with lawyers, accompany their struggles with also training workshops in politics, training workshops in human rights. So that Campesino Association, Peasant Association, is the association where most of the workers of rural press, prensa rural, come from. Yes. Mm-hmm. To tell you, I'm also, well, I accompanied years ago. I accompanied as a student because I'm a how do you political no. I studied politics, yes.
Studied political science.
Yes, political science, yes. Excuse me. Political science in the public university in Bogota, Universidad Nacional. Mm-hmm. So years ago, I accompanied those campesinos there. And, well, I had to teach human rights. I had to teach also alternative media, training workshops. I also taught them, excuse me, well, I told you, political training workshop, and well, I accompany them in their struggles, marching. Well, every action that they made years ago, well, was accompanied. I'm not talking about me only, because we're a lot of people that are accompanying campesinos in Colombia, especially from the universities and from the academy. Yes, we are accompanying them. So that's why many people from this association and also people that accompany them are working now with rural press. Yes. So, well, when you ask me about why did the military close this radio program, or a spacing program, it was because the military think that the campesinos, when they are organized, it's because the FARC came and organized them, yes? Mm-hmm. So in this case, when we had this radio, we were making alternative media, yes? Talking about different things that the massive media are talking, yes? So what we did in those years was, well, talk about the campesinos. I'm talking about what they did, how did they organize, well, their actions, their training workshops about the things I told you. Also, well, we put music that the other radios didn't put in their spaces or in their radios. We also, well, gave the campesinos and the people in the Medium Magdalena news from the world, yes, and especially from those countries that are now turning to the left, yes. Mm-hmm. So that's why the military closed in that time our radio.
And is this something? Have you had other disagreements or confrontations with with the officials there?
Well, if you see in Colombia, historically, the military, the statement, has been well, really close to the landowners, to the narco traffickants, and the companies, and the big companies, yes, the mining companies, well, the oil companies. So what they've been doing is to asegurar
To assure?
yes, to assure, well, their interests, those of the well,
government.
yes, no, not only of the government, is the landowners' interests, the narco trafficant interests, the mining companies' interests. So that's why the military opposed, and in that time closed our radio program. Yes.
And talk to me about why you got involved in a movement like this. What drew your attention about giving a voice to these underrepresented people?
Mine personally, my personal opinion about. Okay.
What drew your attention?
Okay. Well, as I told you, I studied in a public university. Well, in that place, I have to say that I turned my mind to other things that were happening in my country. So, well, by the time I was studying, I knew that once in a forum, in a conference, that some campesinos came to my university to talk with us. I saw that they were like in really difficult situation because of the violence, because of the interests of the companies, and well, it was something that I've been studying also, because in political science you turn your mind or to left or to right. Yes, you have to take a place in politics. Yes, in the spectrum of what is politics. So I took the left, and well, I in that time I thought that the best thing for me, and well, I think that with my decision in that time, well, I'm not well, I don't like, excuse me, I don't like to talk about my experience, because my experience is not the thing there now, because what is important is the people. Yes, I think that it's better to talk about the people, but it's also, well, the struggles are made by people and by one person. It's part of the people. Yes, so it's important to talk of the experience of one person, but what is important is the people. Yes. So what I have to say about that is that the main thing that came to my mind when I started working with social organizations, especially Campesino, was that I was really contributing to a social process that I think it will be increasing, and it would come with a new perspective of society, a new perspective of our country, a new perspective of the development of my country. So that is what that's why I became involved in the struggles of the campesinos and the struggles of my people in Colombia.
Okay, back to the Rural Press Agency in Colombia where you work. How are you guys funded? Where do you guys get your funds?
Yes, well, where our funds come especially, well, from the international solidarity, well, from the I'm not sure if it's, well, it's the word, but I think it's a community in Barcelona, in Catalonia, and NGOs from Catalonia and Barcelona, and from Denmark also, and the other part of the funds come from our association. Yes, the ACBC, Asociación Campesina del Valle del Río Cimitarra, because, well, as I was talking with some of the journalists here that are with me, is that this association receives money from the campesinos, yes, well, this is, I'm not talking that in my country, in the countryside, well, where the people lives really in difficult situation, but you know that the struggles need to put, well, need the consciousness of giving some money to some things that you need to do, and that those other things like drinking alcohol, going to parties, have to put away. So, well, and other activities, yes. So in those places, in the countryside of Colombia, the people knows that, yes, because they are conscious about their situation. So they prefer to give some money to have a company of a lawyer, a company of people that have been studying about economy, that have been studying about politics, that have been studying about, well, sociology, engineers, excuse me. Well, how do you say, médicos?
Doctors.
Excuse me, yes, doctors, yes, excuse me, doctors, and they need those things there. They need the company of those people, and those people, I told you that I don't want to talk about my experience, but here in this moment I need to, because in my case, I never, when I was accompanying them, I never received anything for the company. It was because of my conscience. Because I am conscious of what I'm doing with them, because I'm conscious about that they need to organize themselves, and that I'm conscious that they need to be prepared yes, the campesinos, to came with some new policies and to have a new idea of development. So the campesinos, in the case of Prensa Rural, they look that in Prensa Rural there's a place that can show, or that can make visible what they are doing. So that's the other part of the funding of Prensa Rural.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel about the overall media environment that you operate in there in Colombia? How do private mainstream outlets operate there?
Well, as I told you about the military, it's the same with the media, yes. The big media in Colombia, the private media, it's owned by the people closely related with the people that are in the government, that are in some institutions in the state, that it's close also to the owners of big landowners. Well, with the narco-traffickers, it's difficult, but sometimes the big media has exposed some of the people that also work in the media that have relations with the narco-traffickers. So the big media spokes for the landowners, talks.
Speaks for.
Yes, and speaks for the landowners, narco-traffickers, well, the establishment, yes.
The establishment.
Yes.
So they have close ties to those organizations, yes. And you see that in their everyday news coverage. Every
single day, they're. I'm gonna put you an example. When a year ago there was the campesinos, Afro-Colombians, indigenous, organized to block the roads. They came with a paro strike. Yes, that was like, I think it was from then since August 18 to the middle of September. Yes, and there were a lot of people murdered. 12 people murdered, more than 500 people injured, more than 500 people captured by the police and the military. And at that time, the big media, the private media, didn't say anything about that. But this year, here in Venezuela, in Caracas especially, these people from the right wing, yes, Capriles and I think Machado, Maraconia Machado, and well, this guy, well, Lopez. Well, they organized, well, I think, well, like guarimbas here, yes. And in Colombia, the media were telling the people that the government was gonna end in, I think, they thought, excuse me, that the government was gonna was gonna end, or how do you say that, puesto, o se iba a acabar, o se iba a terminar.
That the protests were going to end?
No. The government, yes. No. That the government was gonna end, se iba a acabar el gobierno, se iba a caer el chavismo.
Ah, okay, so the government was going to fall.
Oh, yes. So they told us in Colombia that the government was gonna fall here in Venezuela. So that was the first news in their when they come with their news. Yes, also, excuse me, noticiero. How do you say noticiero?
Newscast.
Yes, when they came with the newscast, the first news was that in Venezuela the government was gonna fall in about, well, 2 months, and they were showing every what the guarimberos, and they told that they were students, but well, what the students were doing, that they have arguments to do what they were doing, and well, they were they were close to what the guarimberos did here, yes, and what we did from in our web, and well, more of this alternative media in Colombia, what we did was to compare those situations, and we told the people, well, why those media didn't show anything about the protests of the campesinos, of the indigenous, of the Afro-Colombians, yes, and why are they now showing what in other country is happening, yes? So you can make an idea of how the big media works there in Colombia.
So it's very clear their interests and their influence based on how they covered those two different situations.
Yes, that's how they work. Well, they call Telesur Telefarc, yes, and they satanized everyone that comes out in the TV and that talks with Telesur.
All right. That's where we're going to have to end it for today. Juan Sebastian, thanks so much for joining us and giving us your perspective from your work there in Colombia. Very good work. From Caracas, I'm Cody Weddle. We'll see you again next week.